Welcome to Puvanur RVIR Laya Academy of Music and Mathematics. Welcome to Puvanur RVIR Laya Academy of Music and Mathematics. Congratulations in the first place for completing Misra, Jathi, Jampa, Thalam. I'm very happy that you're all into level 3, the advanced lessons. And especially Misra, Jampa, Thalam is a little complicated Thalam. We have seen a depth, we have seen different varieties. I'm going to have a recap of the entire Thalam from beginning till the end, what all we did, what all the ideas I've given you, as a quick recap. Before I begin the review sessions with you, I will start with the Tirukkural. Avvittu azhukkaru udayanai seyyavள் தவ்வையை காட்டிவிடும். What is the meaning of it? பிறர் செல்வத்தைக் கண்டு பொறாமை கொள்பவரை திருமகள் தனது தமக்கையாகிய மூதேவிக்கு காண்பித்து அவரை விட்டு நீங்கி விடுவார். What does Tiruvallur says? What a beautiful thing. If you are feeling jealous about somebody earning wealth, and what the goddess Lakshmi will do is, she will direct you to her sister Moodevi. That's what he says. And who will pull you down to the other side of the world. Not only she will destroy your wealth in this current generation, she will also pull you down. She will direct you to her sister who can pull you down into a different level from where you are, from high to low. So it's important again and again, the reiteration, jealousy has the power, has a dangerous power of pulling you down from where you are and to the downtrodden. Ensure that let's reduce the percentage step by step. With this good thought, I'll enter into the review sessions. Misra, Jathi, Jampa, Thalam. Rule 1. What is the structure? It is a structure of one lagu, one anudrutam and drutam. It is a 10-beat cycle. Misram is 7. These all should come to your mind right away. It is one of the thalams in Jampa Thalam. So when you look into the family of 35 thalas, you might see the entire manual reference what I have created for the 35 thalas, the evolution, the beats and accounts for each of the thala, which is very clearly depicted both pictorially and also as an Excel form. I'm also part of the syllabus or the notes where you're also going to get as a handouts for whatever the lessons we have completed. You can always refer back. So the very idea of taking examples of 35 thalas is we are not going to cover all the 35 thalas because it's an adaptation. So I'm going to only take a sample of 4 or 5 thalas, and rest all would be homework for individuals. Whomsoever is interested to pursue, to do very rigorous into this art, learn more and become more knowledgeable, they can feel free to work on all the thalas. They can take one thala from each of the family and then try to embellish themselves, try to do with their own learnings, whatever the learnings I have given so far, and have a review with me one-on-one. I will be more than happy to help all of you to clear all your doubts and clarifications. So, what we saw in Misra, Jathi, Jampa, Thalam, Taddindina sequence is the first sequence. The moment when you go into Taddindina sequence and somebody is asking you to play, the first thing you might have to get into your mind is What is the family that I'm going to showcase? If this is going to be Kedadagadim family, Thalanggadim family, Tagadanadim family. What should come to your mind? The phrases you're going to use for that particular evening, for that particular occasion, what you're going to do. If it's Kedadagadim, 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 Tagadimi, Tagadimi, Kedadagadim, Dum Kedadagadim, Dum Kedadagadim, should be in your mind at the beginning of your learning. So once when that is there, then only you'll be able to use those phrases when you're playing. Your mind over fingers will work properly only when you're prepared. When your mind is prepared, you will be able to translate that all your thoughts onto your heart, onto your fingers, onto your instrument, and then deliver. That's how it will happen. Thalangadim. Takkat talangu talangu talangu. Takkat talangu takadimi talangu. Talangu takatalangu takatalangu. Tagadadin, tagadana tagadana. Tankita tagadana tagadana tagadana. Tagadana tagadana tagadana. Tata kita takadin. Talang kita takadin. Takatadi kita takatalang. Talang takadin. Junu takakita takatadi kita demi kita. All the patterns should be on your mind. Okay? That's the reason why I repeat. I am repeating with the same phrases, same thing again and again to ensure that you get into the groove. The moment you get into the groove, then I will get into your advanced frame of mind. The creative, I will open your creativity doors. What all you can do, how you can embellish further in my further lessons. So, Tadin Dinna, what all we saw, 3 different varieties. Tadin Dinna, Tata Din Dinna, Din Dinna, Taka Din Dinna, that is one variety. Tikkita taka din din na, ta din din na, ta takita taka din din na, ta ta din din na, ta taka din din na, kada taka din din na, kita taka din din na, taka talanga 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 da. That is another variety of expressing ta din din na in this format. The third one is a 3.5 beat. Ta din na, ta din din na, ta ta din na, taka din din ta tom. Din din na din din na taka din na taka din din da tom din na ta din din na ta din na ta din din da tom. Then the reduction, then you play your tirman. What are all the tirmanams you learnt? It is a 10 cycle tirmanam you learnt. Tata kita taka dinna din tat tam. Tata kita taka dinna din tat tam. Tata kita taka dinna din tat tam. This is a classic 10-beat tirman, very beautifully proportioned. Then I taught you the ascending and descending forms. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Tata kita taka dinna din tat tam. Tata kita taka dinna din tat tam. Tata kita taka dinna din din tat tam. The reverse. Tata kita taka dinna din din tata tam. Tata kita taka dinna din tat tam. Tata kita taka dinna din tat tam. These are all the varieties we saw. So, using all this knowledge, without a gap, you should be able to showcase, take few phrases, continue it, and beautifully end it, and then get into the next sequence. Ta dimi dimi taka taka dimi dimi taka ta dimi dimi taka taka dimi dimi taka taka tagadigo tagadigo tagadigo. These are all the 3 phrases in this, and it should be on top of your mind when you're playing this sequence. Again, the split. Dimi dimi taka dimi dimi taka taka dimi dimi taka dimi dimi tata dimi dimi taka tagadigo. That's how the split should be. 3. Dimi dimi taka dimi dimi taka taka dimi dimi taka dimi dimi tam tam dimi dimi taka tagadigo taka dimi 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 taka dimi 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 taka dimi taka dimi 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 taka dimi. You can interlude beautifully. Once when you get into the creative mode, you can form some patterns and fit into the 5 and then beautifully navigate. This is how we have to do this. This is how we have to end it. Then takadimi tatadimi. Takadimi tatadim. Dimi tatadim. Takadimi tatadim. Dimi tatadim. Dimi tatadim. You can give a dialogue form into displaying takadimi tatadim. Taka dimmi tata dimmi tata dimmi taka dimmi tata dim taka dimmi tata dimmi tata dimmi gadakadega. This is a 3-2 split of a 5 beat and a 3-2 split of a 3 and a phrase. That's a classic way of doing taka dimmi tata dim. We also saw a different variety of tadimi taka tadimi taka tadimi tangadega down. Tadimi taka tadimi taka tadimi tangadega down. How did we do this? We used Adithalam format as is, but interluded with a silence in between. That's the beauty here. So Adithalam is 4. At every fifth beat, you introduce the silence, and it is a beautiful Adithalam with the silence. That's what you learned. All the patterns you can play. Dim bita dim, takata dim, dongadega down. Takadim bita dim, takata dim, dongadega down. Tadimi takata dim, dongadega down. Tadimi takata dim, dongadega down. Tadimi tangadega 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 dim, dongadega down. Tangadega dongadega dim, dongadega down. Tangadega dimmi, tangadega 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 down. So this is how, in interluding the silence in Adithalam, you can play gracefully Misra Jampa. Then we got into Dhim ta dhimi dinaka, Dhim ta dhimi dinaka, Dhimi ta dhimi dinaka, Dhimi ta dhimi dinaka, Dhimi ta dhimi dinaka, Dhimi ta dhim ta Thalam. We saw you can play all the 4 patterns, tat thalang, takatalang, tham kitataka, tarikitataka. Use those patterns. Then dhimita dhimidin, dhimita dhimidin, dhimita dhimidin, naka, dhimita dhimidin, dhimita dhimidin, dhimita dhimidin, naka. It's a 5-5 split. Dhimita dhimidin is 3 beats. Dhimita dhimidin, naka is 2 beats. Beautiful 3-2, lilting forms gets into the space. We all played all the all these patterns you try in 3 different varieties, flowery ideas, beautifully crescenting down, and then play the Tirman. We also saw that pattern. You can play all the varieties and end with a Tirman. Then we got into Takadimi Takajunu. Takadimi Takajunu is a masterly phrase. I told you there are n number of varieties you can dwell on and play with different phrases into this. The reduction can be a 4 and a 6 combination. Takadimi Takajunu, Takadimi Takajunu, Takadimi Takajunu, Takadimi Takajunu, Kadakadam, Kadakadam, Takadimi Takajunu, Kadakadam, Takadimi Takajunu, Takadimi Takajunu, Kadakadam, 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 Tata, Kadakadam, Kadakadam, Tata, Din Tata, Din Tata. Like that you can play. Then Takadimi Takajunu, Takadimi Takadimi Takajunu, Takadimi Takajunu, Takadimi Kadakadam, 5-5 split, and then you can also Takadimi Takajunu, Takadimi Takadimi Takajunu, Kadakadam, Kadakadam, Takadimi Takajunu, Takadimi Takajunu, Takadimi Takadimi Takajunu, Kadakadam, Takadimi Takajunu. You can take a lead because up to 7 you can go and then land with a pause and go with a pounce like a tiger. So that's the beauty, that's the structure. The structure is giving you a capability to do a creativity with a pause and a phrase. That's how you should do. You can try all great ideas here. Okay. And the next one is Tangutadim, Tatadim, 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 Tangutadim, Tatadim, 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 Tatalangutadim. You can play Tangutadim gracefully. Tangutadim, Tatadim, Tangutadim, Tatadim, Tangutadim, Tangutadim, Tatadim, Tangutadim, Tatadim, Tangutadim, Tangutadim, Tatadim, Tangutadim, Tatadim, Tangutadim, you can go and play. This is a big thalam. So most importantly, I am reviewing all the lessons. It's not necessary to play all the sequences. As I told you, you can pick beautifully few sequences and showcase nicely. But the review purpose is for you to understand each one of the sequences, how it can be played. That's the purpose of this review. The next one is Tadhindanga sequence. Tadhindanga, 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 Tadhindanga. Then Tadhindanga, 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 Tadhindanga. Then you have to reduce. You can finish off Tadhindanga like this. I'm only doing the review because I'm giving a recap. There are a lot of things you have to do as a lesson. You have to practice 2 times. When you are practicing, you can do 4 times, 8 times, no wrong. Nothing wrong. Because your hand gets settled, your left-right balance becomes accurate, your tonal quality becomes perfect. Everything should be mastered by repeating, rehearsing number of times. The next one is Takadindimi sequence. And also prior to that we saw Tangutatadimi, Tatadimi, Tangutatadimi, Tatadimi. It's a classic Gandachapu structure. Tangutatadimi, Tatadimi, Tangutatadimi, Tatadimi, Karatatadimi, Tatadimi, Tangutatadimi, Tatadimi, Tangutatadimi, Tatadimi, Tatadimi, Karatak. That's the structure. You have to make use of the structure of 2.5 beats into this 10-beat cycle and showcase your talent. The next is Taka Dindimi Dindimi, which is very much, should be very fresh for you because we saw it very recently. Then I taught you the traditional reduction. Takita dim, takita din, takita din, that din, takita dim, takita dim, takita takadin, dim. We saw the varieties with Tom Kitataka, Tarikataka. Then I taught you the farans. Tom Kitataka, Tarikataka, Tarikataka, Tom Kitataka, Tarikataka, 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 Tarikataka. All these all these patterns we saw. Then we saw the Morakore. I expressed in my last class in a detailed way. I explained you the math behind it. I also told you the core why, how you should not give a pause in between as it's a crescendo. You have to present it from the reduction without a gap beautifully. Then the core why, it's a Gobuchayati core why, beautifully reducing the first part, and then you play the last part. The last part is the dik kitato. Tit tangadam, tagadam tangadam. Tit tangadam, tagadam tangadam, tit tangadam, tha. That's the korvai. The korvai, again, Shrotavaheti also comes here, if you look at it. Tadik kitatum, equal space. 6-1, 6-1, 6 you can play. But in an advanced stage, what you can probably do is 6-6-6 you can play in the first time when you are playing the korvai. Then you play 6-1, 6-1, 6. Then you play 6-2, 6-2, 6. Meaning, tadik kitatum, continuous. Then it increases. Tadikitatum, 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 20. Then you play tadikitatada, tadikitatada, tadikitatum, 22. So 18, 20, 22. So the first time you reduce from 4 to 0 car-wise. Here you increase the back portion with the Shrodavaheti. The first is Gopucha, then the Shrodavaheti. Beautiful combination of a descending and ascending pattern, nicely coining Misra Jathi Jampa Korvai. And then we filled up with a filler. The filler is nothing but tha, ta taka din, taka din, vi taka jun, tam 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 kada din, 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 tam tam. That's a Thirman. This is how we ended Misra Jathi Jampa Thalam. It's a quick review, but hopefully if you want to go into details of each of these sequences, you have to go to the respective class again for your detailed review, because this is only a recap class. So whenever you want to present something, when you have already mastered somewhere, then if you want to showcase, you can actually use this class as a model, because you will come to know what I have covered from beginning to end. Assuming you're going for a function, if you're going to showcase your talent tomorrow in Misra Jathi Jampa Thalam, probably you can take this class as an example. Episode 86 would be a good classic example where how I've covered the review of its entirety. You can go with it in mind, because once when you prepare this much, you will be able to deliver only 20% of the stage, because half the things you'll forget. So that's the human mind cannot retain everything. So you should be prepared more, so to deliver quality percussion syllabus. I will end this class with the Tirukkural, and I'll see you in the next class with a new Thalam, Tisra Jathi Tirupata Thalam, 7-beat cycle. I will take and demonstrate, because one is complex. I want to go into a little easier one and quickly adapt, and I'll cover that simple Thalam. அழுக்காறுகென ஒரு பாவி திருச்செற்று தீவொழி வைத்துவிடும் பொறாமை என்னும் பாவகுணம் தன்னை கொண்டுள்ளவரை இம்மையில் செல்வத்தை அழித்து மறுமையில் அவரை தீய வழியில் சேர்த்துவிடும். What does it say? If you have jealousy, Tiruvallur says, in the present generation, the present living condition, it will pull you down. It will ensure that you lose all your wealth if you have jealousy, and in the next birth, you will be led into a very bad society. That's the power of jealousy, very dangerous, and let's be early in our life to understand this jealousy is going to be a dangerous one in our life. We try to get rid of it slowly but steadily, surely. With this, I'm signing off today with a complete review of Misra Jathi Jampa Thalam. I'll see you in the next class. I'm going to start off with Tisra Jathi Tirupata Thalam 7-beat cycle. Povanur RV here, signing off.